But right now on this team, there's no established hierarchy really. Everything sort of has always seemed up for grabs, and I think that's been part of the problem. Is that Masai Ujiri talked about watching selfish basketball out there this season when there's no established hierarchy, when everybody thinks they're better than the next guy, when
I don't know if I would say it that way. I would say they're in danger of losing, and somebody decided to solve it himself.
okay, good way to that's a fair way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair, but I do think it comes with, to your point about why would you trade Siakam? Maybe the most logical answer to that is this whole idea that, wait a second, you got the president of the team talking about selfish play, and you had three guys, at least three, but let's start with these three: Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, who kind of similar sized guys who sort of see themselves the same way, whether or not we see them that way. They see themselves as guys who can be central, offensive players on a really good team. And maybe that was a big source of the tension. And maybe it's only natural that if one of those guys was out of the picture and you brought in different types of assets in their place, maybe two of those guys would do better sharing the ball than three of those guys.
Well, and I don't know that it gets any better if you've got a guy going into the last year of a contract, which is Pascal. That has to sort of be rectified now, doesn't it?
Well, they haven't been forthcoming with the contract extension, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And there's that. Let's not pretend that we haven't noticed that Pascal Siakam, you assume through intermediaries because Chris Haynes of TNT is plugged into the NBA. Chris Haynes reported that Siakam wasn't interested in signing a contract extension should he be traded from the Raptors, which was sort of a not so subtle hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Please don't trade me because I want to stay in Toronto. And when you take that a step further, his best chance at the Supermax extension is staying in Toronto. Right? Because that would, for him to get the Supermax, which is, of course, 35% of the salary cap instead of a modest 30%. We're talking about crazy numbers either way.
35%.
Yeah. But he would need to become an all-NBA player, all-NBA team player, one of the top 15 players in the league. And ergo, his best chance to do that, at least in the world he's envisioning right now, would be to stay in Toronto.